Sunlight floods a pristine kitchen, casting a radiant glow on the inviting scene. On the table, a golden piece of cheese sits, a silent promise of flavor in the morning light. Narration 5:0. In a quiet morning, a delicious temptation was lurking. The cheese waits patiently, a tempting beacon in the otherwise peaceful kitchen. Sunlight warms the rough stone of the wall, highlighting a tiny, dark mouse hole. A whiskered face emerges, eyes gleaming with determination. The mouse, clad in a miniature worker's outfit, peers out cautiously. A moment of quiet resolve. Before venturing into the unknown, the small figure prepares to face challenges beyond the wall. The kitchen hums quietly. An unseen presence lurks. From behind the cold steel of the refrigerator, a pair of keen eyes observe. Whiskers twitch with curiosity. A red bow tie, a flash of color. A sophisticated cat emerges slowly from the shadows. Its gaze sweeps across the room, intelligent and calculating. What scheme is brewing behind those emerald eyes? The mouse bursts from a drawer, a tiny figure against the vast kitchen, heart pounding, adrenaline pumping. A daring leap across spoons, each clatter a drumbeat in the frantic escape, the cat hot on its heels. Desperate, the mouse knots a rope, a fragile lifeline in a world of giants, paws working furiously. The kitchen transforms into a perilous playground, a chase of life and death, echoing with energetic music. Sunlight streams into the kitchen as the cat maliciously pours soap onto the clean floor. With cunning agility, the mouse narrowly avoids a disastrous fall, his eyes gleaming with defiance. A smug sneer curls the cat's lips, his predatory instincts sharpening with each passing moment. "I'll get you today," the cat hisses, his voice a low, menacing growl that promises relentless pursuit. The mouse darts away. A thrilling chase begins amidst the everyday chaos of the kitchen. A tiny mouse begins a daring ascent up a towering pot, its eyes fixed on a distant prize. The mouse strains, pulling a rope with determined paws, a critical step in its elaborate plan. Tension builds as the rope tightens, a pivotal moment of preparation before the leap. With unwavering focus, the mouse readies itself, poised on the brink of an audacious jump. The aroma of cheese fills the air, a tempting beacon that fuels the mouse's courageous endeavor. In slow motion, the cat leaps, muscles tense, aiming for an unseen target. A miscalculation! The cat's trajectory falters, a shadow of doubt crossing its feline features. Tangled in a treacherous rope, the cat plummets, its eyes widening in comical horror. The cat's plaintive cry echoes as it descends towards its watery doom. Splash! The cat lands unceremoniously in the container, its fur now thoroughly soaked. Sunlight streams into the kitchen, highlighting a triumphant mouse perched atop the table. The mouse clutches a piece of cheese, its tiny eyes gleaming with mischievous delight. A smug smile spreads across the mouse's face as it glances down at the unsuspecting cat below. The mouse, bold and cunning, relishes its victory in the silent kitchen. "Always gotta be one step ahead," the mouse squeaks, its voice filled with playful arrogance. Cheese in paw, the mouse embodies the thrill of outsmarting its larger, slumbering foe. A small, dark mouse hole sits in the base of the wall, an entry to a hidden world. A tiny mouse darts into the hole, disappearing into the shadows. The hole vanishes, as if by magic, sealing the mouse safely inside. A chorus of playful laughter echoes from within, celebrating a successful escape. Narration VO. And so, another ordinary day in our kitchen came to an end. The wall stands silent, concealing the secret life bustling just behind its surface. Sunlight streams into the kitchen, illuminating a scene of domesticity interrupted. A wet cat emerges, shaking droplets like tiny, angry stars. The cat's fur stands on end, a dark silhouette against the bright room. Emerald eyes narrow, fixing on a point of interest with predatory focus. The mouse hole becomes a focal point, a gateway to unseen dramas. A silent challenge hangs in the air, a promise of pursuit and playful vengeance. Inside the cozy mouse hole, shadows play as a tiny mouse feasts on a chunk of cheese, his whiskers twitching with delight. The mouse nibbles contentedly, savoring each bite of the cheese, his small eyes gleaming in the dim light. A moment of pure, simple joy fills the mouse hole as the mouse indulges in his cheesy treat. The world outside fades away as the mouse revels in his feast. A tiny king in his cheesy kingdom. Sunlight streams into the kitchen as a cat eyes a rolling pin. A mischievous glint sparks in the cat's eyes. A silent plan forming. The rolling pin sits innocently on the counter, unaware of the impending feline scheme. In the quiet kitchen, a playful chaos is about to begin, orchestrated by the cat. In the kitchen, the mouse carefully lays out a toy train track, a perfect circle of playful chaos. The tracks strategically loop around the kitchen island, a deliberate trap set with miniature rails. Nearby, a wind-up robot sputters to life, its gears grinding as it begins its jerky, mechanical dance. The robot clanks and whirs, adding to the rising symphony of distraction. A clear intention dawns, a cunning scheme to divert the cat. The mouse orchestrates the scene, ready to exploit the cat's easily distracted nature. A mischievous cat darts through the sunlit kitchen, its eyes gleaming with playful intent. Suddenly, disaster. Paws ensnared in a chaotic web of yarn, a playful moment turns into a tangled struggle. A bag of flour topples, engulfing the cat in a cloud of white. The scene descends into comedic chaos. Now a yarn-covered, flour-dusted spectacle. The cat stares with wide, bewildered eyes, a portrait of comical surprise. In a sunlit kitchen, a tiny mouse eyes a tempting piece of cheese, determination gleaming in his beady eyes. He bounces on a miniature trampoline, gathering momentum for his daring leap towards the savory prize. With acrobatic grace, the mouse launches himself, a blur of fur against the bright kitchen backdrop. Mid-air, he snatches the cheese, a triumphant squeak escaping his tiny mouth as he lands with his treasure. The mouse emerges, a tiny beacon of defiance against the backdrop of the vast world. A triumphant wave of cheese, a small victory celebrated with twitching whiskers and unrestrained glee. The cat sputters, a volcano of humiliated rage threatening to erupt. Fur bristles and eyes narrow, a storm of feline fury unleashed upon empty air. With a final, dismissive flick of its tail, the mouse vanishes back into the safety of its hole. The cat is left alone, a monument to wounded pride and simmering resentment.